Hello guys! Welcome to the Alrasta channel to discuss and explain the exciting storyline of your favorite series, SwallowedStar, episode 195. In the previous episode, we witnessed the battle at Star Tower, a chaotic fight over a treasure known as the Sealed Star. While Luo Feng joined the human race team alongside King Tianzhen, there was also a battle involving powerful beings whose levels were nearly on par with the invincible Immortal King, such as the machine race figure, King Lifefall, who had come to Star Tower with a different intention. His goal was to defeat King Seven Blade of the human race. However, he ultimately failed after King Seven Blade used the beast god Gold Pond statue to counter the Decomposition Tower's power fired by King Lifefall. So, what happens next? Alright, without further ado, let's dive straight into the story. As the Sealed Star flew through the air and was about to fall into the dangerous vortex of chaos, many warriors died because of it. And at that moment, many exits began to appear everywhere. The warriors who were no longer strong enough to continue the battle ultimately chose to leave the forbidden space, abandoning their intention to obtain the Sealed Star in order to survive. However, many of them chose to continue the battle, trying their luck to obtain the Sealed Star. Amidst the chaotic battle, Luo Feng remained. From the moment he arrived at Star Tower, he had begun to sense something that seemed to be constantly calling him. And as soon as he entered Star Tower, many strange changes suddenly began to occur, such as the appearance of the Sealed Star, even though Luo Feng had only just set foot there for the first time. That was why Luo Feng was convinced that the series of events he had experienced were definitely not mere coincidences. On the other hand, King Tianzhen began to show strange behavior. His mind began to shake, followed by a lot of purple energy that restrained his movements. At that moment, Tianzhen was attacked by a giant, powerful entity. It was eventually discovered that the soul attack came from King Qimeng, an entity from the demon race, along with several of his members who were approaching Luo Feng's team. It was said that King Qimeng was of a demon race and was very skilled in using soul attacks. In the past, King Tianzhen had fought him several times, but he never had the chance to win. One of Luo Feng's teammates, King Q Wu, felt that there was still more powerful energy coming from other demon race members who were approaching them. If counted, there were 12 enemies, 6 of whom had reached the limit Immortal King level, while the rest were pinnacle Immortal Kings. On Luo Feng's side, several members of his team had died, some had fled, and the rest were only 4 limit Immortal King warriors. In terms of numbers, Luo Feng's group was clearly outnumbered, so King Ku Wu gave the signal to retreat. But before they had a chance to retreat, the time-space nightmare beast activated its time domain, causing everything to slow down. The demons took advantage of this moment to close in on Luo Feng's team, intending to fight and not let the humans escape. With no way to escape, King Tianzhen felt he had no choice but to fight back. Once he escaped the soul attack, he moved and challenged King Qimeng to a duel. Meanwhile, King Ku Wu, who also advanced, was faced with a barrage of enemy attacks. He defended himself by utilizing the power of the Golden Law to create a barrier, saying that Ku Wu would hold off the 2 demon race enemies in front of him. Meanwhile, Luo Feng and Heavy Arrow will fight against demons who are now at the pinnacle Immortal King level. Before the fight, Luo Feng formed a plan and ordered Heavy Arrow to attack from a distance. Meanwhile, he would be responsible for distracting the enemy. When Luo Feng received attacks from 4 sides and defended himself using Shu Wu's wings, Heavy Arrow fired 4 arrows at once from another direction. In that attack, 3 of them died, and the rest were torn to pieces by Luo Feng. On the other side, from Luo Feng's team, King Kang Qi was fighting the demon race. During the battle, he was hit by an enemy blast that sent his body flying towards the Sealed Star. Ultimately, he died because the Sealed Star was enveloped in the deadly power of the Vortex of Chaos at that time. His body immediately disappeared, leaving only his treasures scattered everywhere. When his body touched the vortex of chaos, many others suffered the same fate as him. King Qiwu, who had previously survived the onslaught of 2 demon races, was now barely able to withstand the attack from 4 sides after enemy reinforcements arrived. At that moment, he asked Luo Feng and Tianzhen to retreat quickly. The combined attack of the enemies ultimately killed King Qiwu once, but he was able to respawn and began to retreat. The situation is not good. King Kangqi is already dead. King Qiwu is defending himself against the attacks of 4 enemies at the limit Immortal King level. As for Tianzhen, he appears to be burning his divine body to face King Qimeng. After Luo Feng exterminated the demon race at the pinnacle Immortal King level, together with Heavy Arrow, Luo Feng then provided assistance to King Qiwu, who was surrounded by enemies. But when Luo Feng wanted to help him, on the way, he witnessed King Tianzhen receiving a deep wound from King Qimeng's soul attack, causing his body to be thrown towards the vortex of chaos. When Luo Feng helped hold Tianzhen's throne body, unexpectedly, Luo Feng was also affected by the opponent's genjutsu, causing him to lose consciousness in the middle of a dangerous situation. He intended to help Tianzhen, but instead fell into the vortex of chaos. Unluckily, behind King Tianzhen were many demons who seemed to want to devour Luo Feng. While chasing Luo Feng's body as it fell toward the vortex of chaos, Tianzhen showed his cunning face, and unexpectedly, he intended to kill Luo Feng and take his wealth. And sure enough, Tianzhen turned out to be a traitor. He was convinced that no matter how powerful Luo Feng was, he would not be able to survive 2 simultaneous soul attacks from Tianzhen and King Qimeng. However, this traitor did not know that the MC actually had a powerful soul defense. Well, it didn't take long for Luo Feng to regain consciousness and realize that King Tianzhen was the one controlling King Qimeng. He pretended to fight his previous enemy, but in reality, he was fighting his fellow human race from within, like a snake in the grass. From this incident, Luo Feng was certain that this was not the first time Tianzhen had done this. Tianzhen did not expect Luo Feng to be able to escape his genjutsu in such a short time. Unfortunately, it was already too late because Luo Feng was about to fall into the vortex of chaos, and it seemed impossible to avoid death. Not giving up so easily, Luo Feng turned around and intended to detonate the Fire God Origin Crystal. The effect of the crystal's explosion would throw Luo Feng's body in the opposite direction. Of course, Luo Feng, who had the protection of Shiwu's wings, would not die from the effects of the explosion. Unlike Tianzhen, who would definitely die. But before Luo Feng detonated the Fire God Origin Crystal, time suddenly stopped, and right behind Luo Feng, a portal appeared. From within, a pile of hands emerged, releasing snakes. The snakes entangled Luo Feng's body and pulled him into the strange portal. No one knew where Luo Feng had gone, but Tianzhen felt lucky that he was still alive. Although his plan to take Luo Feng's treasure had failed, at least there were still Heavy Arrow and King Qiwu, whose treasures he could still take. If he could get both of their treasures, he would definitely profit. Meanwhile, Luo Feng, who had been forcibly pulled into the portal, now found himself in a place he was completely unfamiliar with. At that moment, Heavy Arrow made a call to confirm that his boss was still safe. Luo Feng then informed Heavy Arrow that Tianzhen was trying to attack him, and he asked Heavy Arrow to warn King Qiwu to be wary of Tianzhen as a traitor. Therefore, Luo Feng asked Heavy Arrow to retreat first before Luo Feng returned. While searching for a way out, Luo Feng's equipment suddenly disappeared, leaving only the silver armor behind. As he explored various places, Luo Feng saw something that left him utterly amazed. Still inside Star Tower, the place Luo Feng now knew as the Trial Hall. Luo Feng was astonished by the abundance of sealed stars in the trial hall, which had previously been the subject of intense competition. But now, Luo Feng saw that there were so many of them. It was as if he was in a collection of universes and saw stars scattered across the space. Shortly after arriving there, Luo Feng's body was pulled by a powerful force that he was completely unable to resist. It was a force as vast and gentle as water, with no limits to its extent. Unconsciously, it could make someone like Luo Feng bow down before it. The powerful entity appeared to be playing with two sealed stars in its grasp. Luo Feng was certain that this entity was the one that had brought him here. In terms of power, among most of the powerful people above Luo Feng, this entity seemed to be on par with Luo Feng's master, Chaos City Lord. This meant that he was at the Universe Master level. The figure, known as Pu Ti, said that Luo Feng was the third candidate he had been waiting for 8.2 billion years. Luo Feng thought the situation was very strange, as the Star Tower should not have an owner. Well, who exactly was this Pu Ti? He was an old man who was half snake but had a small snake on his shoulder. So what did he mean by the third candidate he mentioned? Pu Ti realized that Luo Feng had many questions he wanted to ask. As an introduction, Pu Ti admitted that he was only a guardian of the Star Tower and Luo Feng's mentor. So, essentially, Pu Ti was not the true owner of the Star Tower. It was said that the Star Tower was a treasure created by Pu Ti's master for someone from the lineage of planet Earth. Pu Ti was also the master's first disciple. Over countless years, he felt fortunate to have been chosen as the master's main disciple and to have received wholehearted training from the still unnamed master. His master was the figure who had created the Flame God race and the powerful humans of Earth. A powerful being who created the Flame God race and modified Earth? Luo Feng remembered that this entity was a foreign race mentioned by the founder of the huge Axe Dojo. Pu Ti said his master had spent a lot of energy and thought to select one human lineage and develop it. After a long experiment, the Flame God race was finally born with strong natural talents. One of the Flame God race's strongest members became Pu Ti's second disciple. This second disciple independently became the leader of his people, making him the ruler of one of the regions in the universe. Although the Flame God race could already be considered a masterpiece, the master was still not satisfied, so he continued to explore and conduct lengthy research until finally creating a human lineage on Earth with a very pure soul. It is known that the planet Earth is the name used by people today, but in the past it was not called Earth, and each name of the planet Earth was equated with the names of the third candidate disciples of the master. The first candidate's name was Shan Haiji, and the second candidate's name was Yuan Xing. Since the physical strength of the selected candidates was still insufficient, the master created a secret genetic evolution method for them, known as the Secret Book of 9 Tribulations, an unnamed manual that Luo Feng studied. However, this secret method significantly opposed the natural order of destiny. Whether it was recorded or taught, everything would be automatically erased by the laws of the universe, until finally, the master found an object called Heavenly Soul Crystals that had extraordinary power and engraved the secret method inside it. Luo Feng immediately understood that the Heavenly Soul Crystals must be the black metal fragments he had found. And the reason why Luo Feng had felt the previous calls was because he came from the bloodline created by his master, Pu Ti. Luo Feng was now declared the strongest of the Earth lineage. He had also passed the Heavenly Soul Crystals test and learned the secret method within it. And now he was just one step away from the end. Of course, Luo Feng will face a life and death test. The Star Tower can be said to be one of the most powerful treasures in the universe. During its creation, the Tower Pearl was inserted into the Star Tower to serve as its control core, which gives it the appearance of having its own consciousness. Consequently, the requirements to become the owner of the Star Tower are very strict. If he succeeds in uniting his soul with the Tower Pearl, Luo Feng will become the third disciple of the master. But if he fails, Luo Feng's soul will be completely destroyed and he will surely die. Even if he can come back to life, the memories of the secret Book of 9 Tribulations will disappear, and Luo Feng's genetic level will return to what it was before. Even attributes of the Flame God race, such as soldier armor and general armor, would become unusable to Luo Feng. So, is Luo Feng willing to accept this offer? Well, if you think about it, even if Luo Feng lost all of that, he could still be considered a super genius. If he backed down, he would lose his path to becoming a powerful figure. So, there was definitely no reason for Luo Feng not to accept Puti's offer. After Luo Feng accepted the offer, Puti gathered the sealed stars around him into one and formed a tower pearl in his hand. Puti also conveyed important information to Luo Feng, that the test Luo Feng was about to face was related to a strong heart and determination. Once the test began, it could not be stopped. The two candidates before Luo Feng had each endured for 2,600 years and 3,300 years, respectively. But unfortunately, both candidates had to fall. The Tower Pearl, which contained great power, was then implanted on Luo Feng's forehead, allowing him to feel the extraordinary power of the universe. Soon after, Puti disappeared, hoping that Luo Feng would pass the test. When the Tower Pearl that Luo Feng obtained came into contact with the core of the golden-horned behemoth's body, Luo Feng felt quite a lot of pain. Perhaps he underestimated it a little, because Luo Feng had already experienced even greater pain when he absorbed more than 100 blood crystals in the past. This test of resolve and heart seemed like it would take an extremely long time, because before he knew it, Luo Feng had already passed 1 year, 2 years, and 60 years with such ease. During that time, Luo Feng's two older brothers didn't just sit around. Like Hong, he continued to train with his lover. There was also Lei Shen, who, although still single, was now much stronger than before, as evident from his thunderous punches. Wow, incredible. In the midst of the trial, Luo Feng grumbled because the pain he felt in his soul was getting stronger and stronger. To endure the pain for thousands of years to come, it seemed that Luo Feng could not just force himself to endure it. So, to endure the pain, Luo Feng diverted his attention by studying and understanding more about the path of the beast god statue in his inner world, so that his mind would become stable. 100 to 300 years have passed in the blink of an eye. During that time, the people closest to Luo Feng had grown stronger and achieved success in the Heavenly Bridge Challenge. Even Luo Feng's son, Luo Hai, was seen hunting primal chaos beasts with Ai Chen. Of course, Luo Feng's son had been training in Primal Chaos City. In the midst of his pursuit, Bolin even appeared and said that Luo Hai really resembled his father. 1,000 years had finally passed, and Luo Feng was still able to endure the painful trial. Would he be able to survive? Then how long would it take to complete this final step? Well, hopefully it will only be next week, guys. Okay, guys, thank you for watching until the end. And don't forget to support this channel with likes, subscribe, and comments. That's all from me. Bye.
落家，甚至地球，
星辰他认出的极限，
都将面临巨大危机。
到底在哪儿？
风星辰那场大战，确实
他